Seat 5, Noel. 8-5 Bob.
Good luck,
Seat
everyone.
6, Liam. Queen, Jack, suited of clubs. Seat 7, Raymond. Deuce 3, the Dirty Diver. In Seat 8. We'll see a flop.
Just small blind, please. 20.
Oh, sorry.
Queen, 9-3. Pair of queens is ahead currently for Liam in Seat 7. 9 on the turn. No one has a 9, 2 pair leads.
And we are up and streaming. Welcome. Good evening, or if you're watching outside of Australia, perhaps good morning, good afternoon, could be the middle of the night. We're live from the Bella Vista here in Sydney. This is the main event, Australian Poker Tour New South Wales Championships. You join us after a break with a massive, massive prize pool. You'll see up in the top right corner. 628 entries into this. You join us with 36 players left. I'm Harvey Silver. I'll be with you through the evening. Have a plethora of poker royalty joining me, I'm sure, over the course of the next few hours. And we might as well start off with one of the biggest names in our game here in Australia, man who sets the agenda with his very popular podcasts and scheduling. Very good player in his own right. I've called him numerous times. It's the great Craig Abernathy. Thank you for coming in and joining me for the first bit of this, Craig.
Yeah, well, thank you, Harvey. It's great to be here. I'm not sure, poker royalty yet, but, I'm one of the biggest voices in Australian poker. I can definitely say that.
Loudest?
Yeah,
not quite as loud as Sportelli, who I'm sure we'll see soon. But
I'm not loud, I just like to share, share lots of news and results and the schedules, of course, across Australia, the Australian Poker Schedule website. But here, commentary, we're really looking forward to it. As you can see, once again, we've got some really good names on the table, and the guy who's just put 90k in the pot there is none other than James Obst, which is... I don't believe he's played in the Australian Poker Tour before. Obviously here, due to the state of origin, it attracts a lot of big names, and James Obst, you would use elite. One of the best players all time in Australia, Hall of Famer, 2 World Series of Poker bracelets. Not in Hold'em though, both in the mixed games. He loves his mixed games. You see he's in the pot here.
With Kenny. Yes, real privilege to have players like James here. We're going to talk about the state of origin, which was such a highlight yesterday.
So we saw Kenny has picked up a flush draw there with that turn card, so that'll keep him interested. But
2 bets.
James still in front with the ace high, so continuing on here. And I'd imagine Kenny will find a call for that size bet, and knowing his flush is most likely good if it does come in, so we can see it would be.
So a couple of overs in his hand to the board, so you can't imagine him folding here.
A king, that's right, a king or a queen would also take the lead as well. So he's got quite a lot of equity, 32% as you can see there on the graphics, and the graphics are quite good. This software is amazing, as you've said, and we use the 4-color decks, which also is very popular. And yeah, I think we'll see, can he find this call? No real reason to raise. Well, we know if he did raise, James would have to fold. Oh, there we go.
In fact, he's done way more than call, hasn't he? Pushes all in.
I like it. He's a better player than me. I really like that, and that's how to win the pot without even hitting it. So, very well done by Kenny. Not sure what he picked up there. Maybe a small size by James. Something, but winning a pot against James Obst is difficult, but Kenny's done it. Starts the stream off like that, and he has a huge stack, 2.3 million chips. So looking to run right through to the final table, where I think we'll play down to that tonight, and then we'll be back in tomorrow with the final few.
It's definitely the plan, Craig, that we, as you can see up the top there, 36 players left, that we'll get down to a final table. We may even get down to a final 6 if we're early enough.
Yeah, poker tournaments are very difficult to predict.
Very much so. Certainly not playing it out tonight, though.
We're actually expecting the bubble to go a bit longer than it did, which is why we're joining you with 36 left. I believe there would have been 80 or 90 paid in this event.
Yeah, so they got paid out. We'll go through all that, but got paid out a lot earlier than we thought.
They're deep into the money as we see it now. 36 left, and as Harvey said, it's
75. We had 75 paid out.
Yeah, so they're an hour or so into the money here, and we don't know how long it's going to go for, but yeah, we'll be with you all night. Well, Harvey will be. I'll be in and out, and we'll get some other guests as well, so you'll hear plenty of voices on the Australian poker scene.
A lot of the players I'll be getting through will be, I'm sure, players that bust out of this. They'll probably be a bit disappointed to get this far in the main event. Let's talk about this though, Craig. We put up a $400,000 guarantee, and we finished up with a prize pool of $816,000. This is quite incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely doubled it, and players, it just shows the support for poker in Sydney, in Australia, the Australian Poker Tour, and the combination of events. The Australian Poker Tour has put a really good schedule of events together, and people have been here every day for the last 10 days, I believe, and it all wraps up tomorrow. So, very popular series, lots of massive prize pools, and some really big names, as we can see here. Might just mention Ken Damlakian, who we can see in this pot, and has raised it up. Ken is very well known on the Australian poker scene. Over $1 million in live earnings. He won the massive Jack Star at the APL Million last year, I believe it was. And yeah, he travels over to Vegas frequently, around the world playing poker. He wouldn't call himself a pro, but he is one of the better players in the Australian poker scene for sure. He plays the higher stakes. He plays this is a 1500, and no surprise to see him. I'll get another feature table.
So we go to a flop here. Nicholas Lee having a look out of the big blind with the suited connectors, and it's his 8 on the flop.
Yeah, it makes the best hand there, but definitely a flop that favours the big blind. Those cards sort of 10 and under, and Ken will be aware of that, so I wouldn't be surprised if Ken checks it. But we also can see leads, and Nicholas has seen, yep, that's a good with that short stack.
Yeah,
too.
he's got very little left.
Just top pair, just jam it in there, and
so it's an easy call for Ken.
I think Ken, depending on how size, it's only small, so he's 200 to win essentially an 800k pot here if he does make the call.
Oh, he's made the call.
He's made it all, so
yep.
600k pot, yeah. So quick call by Ken, and Nicholas has to fade the 2 overs. Nothing else working, just the bang.
Oh, and bang! There it is.
There it is. That's the end of. Poor old Nicholas. GG's.
What a tough way to go. Queen on the river, and see you later.
Nice run there for 34th place, and that was a deep run. I mean, I won't feel it at the moment, but
picks up 4K.
4K in the pocket from a $1,500 buy-in, so well done to you, sir. Which means there's a seat open, and someone will now join the table in a few minutes' time, I'd imagine. We'll see the next hand. So you've got Ken and James. Who else have we got here? Kenny Wang, who we saw in that other pot who did the check raise on the turn against James Obst. He's very well known in the poker community too. A lot of cashiers, and he'd be up around the $1 million mark too, I reckon. Some of the big events he's won, from Sydney. believe.
If you'd like to put again, please put your hand
He had that. He was on the feature table earlier. I was in commentary, and it might have been the Dracarys.
That was the Dracarys, it was,
yeah,
yes.
and he had that colourful, maybe a Marvel shirt on.
Yes.
He's downgraded the colours, but always looks the part, Kenny.
Nancy B. It's having the girls done well here.
Yeah, another lady in the field, and it's generally now very common. It's almost there's one lady on every table.
Yep.
Even probably, you know, if you look at statistically, I'd say it'd be like 1.2, 1.3 on average. You know, might even be more.
I say it all the time that the girls are so overrepresented at the pointy end of tournaments, and we saw how well they play. I mean, I hate, you know, saying you're just a player, you're a poker player, not a female or a male, but we did have a female in each team yesterday in the State of Origin, and they actually had a table where they played against each other, and it was Shelley taking that out. That was, gee, there was some high standard poker on that table.
Yeah, I was able to commentate that for a little bit yesterday, and it was really high quality poker. And it's also interesting how people get into the game, specifically with the ladies. We saw Phoebe Yan on that table yesterday in the State of Origin representing New South Wales, and when I was looking at the highlights earlier this week from last year's series at Voco, Phoebe was actually dealing in that State of Origin. So she's sort of come through the ranks from dealing, and
she's still dealing a lot. She was in here talking about her progression, and she certainly said she hasn't transformed herself from dealer into player. But she's, you know, sort of picking and choosing events and finding her way, and what a great place to do it, to represent your state in the State of Origin.
And this is a bit of an interesting hand. We've seen raise it up from Shu Lin, who we'll get to soon, and we've seen Ken Demlacking wake up with the ace king in the big blind and just elected just to call. So he's playing this one as a bit of an underrepresented trap hand, I'd say, with the ace king, because Shu Lin should be representing most of these board, ace or jack, and a lot of the time he'd be taking this down, but he won't be this time. Obviously Ken's got the top of his range from a defending call from the big line, so just we see how interesting Ken proceeds now, whether he just goes with call or now he chooses to bump it up. Looks like just a call, so he's going to let Shu just continue if he wishes on the turn. Forward changes nothing, as we can see. No flush draw or anything developing for Shu Lin, so it's up to him to see. He is on. He does have 1.7 million. It doesn't look like he's got a lot of chips, but he must have some big chips. Those pink ones, 100Ks. The blue ones are 25Ks. The orange ones are 5Ks. So he's got a lot of those blue and one pink. And actually, he's got it stuck behind his hand. I couldn't see him. I only would have got this camera angle. He must have been wondering what I was talking about. Look at it. He's got actually 1.7 million chips. Big stacks. Big stacks. Kenny's got all the... Ken Damlakian's got all the big 100Ks, pink. And he's going to show his strong hand now. Here you go, mate. And it'll be a quick fold from Shu Lin.
Shu Lin having a little fish for it. You can't
blame him. A lot of pots.
Absolutely.
You don't need the hands. If you watch a lot of streams, you actually get to see the cards people playing. And if you sit back and watch how many pots the players, the good players, win without showdown, it's interesting. That's actually a term called red lining. We call red lining in poker. There's red line and the blue line. Red line is when you win pots without a showdown. So all the good players have a really good red line. It means they're winning lots of chips without having it. You know, you can't have the hand cards all the time. And like that case though, he ran into Ken's ace king, and that wasn't going anywhere. But back to the ladies, like we were talking about Phoebe. She came through the dealing ranks. Quite a lot of the ladies come through because their partner or boyfriend or husband or someone is playing poker and they get into it as well. That's why my wife's involved in the poker. She wanted to see me occasionally, so she had to come out to poker.
Yeah, well, otherwise you don't get to poker, right?
Yeah, that's right. Poker.
Yes. We all love. I've got 2 daughters, and started playing poker with my daughters. My youngest one was 5, and we started to play poker at home.
Yeah.
And now she's finding that she goes out to parties and meets up with people, and all of a sudden they bring out the poker cards, and everyone's surprised. Oh, you can play poker, can you? And it's like the old tennis, isn't it? Anyway, we've got another all-in, and this is a biggie because this is James Obst, one of our biggest names still left in the tournament against the big stack of Ken. Go to the flop.
And he's dominated too, so he needs to hit the 9, and there she is. The 9. Now, Ken does have that club draw working, I was just going to say, and
very
the
much.
Club draw comes in.
There's plenty of outs here.
Oh, but it's the red ace, and that's the other one that James didn't want to see.
No.
So that's GG's to James Obst.
It's twice since we've started, Craig. You must be taking a Josh Monk line here. As soon as Josh sits down, everyone starts getting eliminated, and it's happened with you. We've lost 2 players since you sat down, and one of the biggest names, one of the most successful players is James Obst is out.
And it's actually a real privilege that James came. I mean, James, as I said, he hasn't played the Australian Poker Tour before. And in Australia, you don't see him that often as a player. He's obviously at the World Series every year, and great to have him here. He hasn't got any money to write home again. He's had some massive scores bigger than that, but he has cashed. He's got an Australian Poker Tour cash on his record now, and I hope to see James back again. There is a 2.5k PLO on today as well.
Yes.
So it's got quite a late registration, and it may finish tonight, and I reckon James will be jumping in that one now too. He loves the PLO, he loves all the games, so GG's James.
And James, like a number of other players here, as you say, haven't played the Australian Poker Tour, but are here because of the State of Origin yesterday, and that was a terrific day. Really different sort of poker. Great to see team poker. You very rarely see that. And
huge draw card for all the names, as you said, and it was amazing to watch that type of format. They were playing 3 rounds, 7 tables in each round of 6 players, and once a player busted out, just about in every circumstance, they'd go around to watch and rail their team. And it was great to see that camaraderie, cheering for their team, and right at the end even cheering against another team so that they could stay ahead,
Absolutely.
So it's on a point system there.
And it did get very exciting, and in fact it wasn't one of the states that won it, it was the Adopted Aussies team.
Yeah.
I see you're wearing an Adopted Aussies hat. Whose is that you pinched?
I'm not actually sure. It was on the commentary box desk when I came in after later on that night, and I thought, well, I'm going to pretend I never wore my Queensland hat and Queensland jumper all day, because they didn't do too well. No. So I jumped ship and I've got on the Adopted Aussies, and it was great to see those names there. Bit of an interesting hand here, a bit of a multi-way.
Let's go back here to the felt.
So we've seen Nancy raise it up in the hijack there. And nice pretty hand, those 5 suited. And we've seen the small blind just coming just call, pocket 6s. Can play that as a 3-bet, but just the call.
And that white chip, again, if you haven't been watching and you're not familiar, that's actually a time bank chip. So
yes,
just giving himself a little bit more think time.
Yeah. So Mahanad Adib, I'm not too familiar with him, but I haven't seen him this week on the final table or feature table, so this is the first time we've seen him, and he's just called from the big blind, King Jack, fair enough. So we'll go to a flop and see who makes the best of this one, or who wants to say they have. All the options.
And there's a 6.
Oh, well, Shulin's just hit that right in the window. So 94% equity in this hand now. It's going to be tough to run down. Nancy does have that backdoor flush draw. She can make that. She could make a wheel with the 3-4.
She's got the ace, of course, so unless
100
someone's
needs
hit.
a lot of help. He needs to go straight. He needs to go 10 queen.
I don't think we're going to see him stay in, but Shulin has the option now to just drag this along or
She's
put the raise in.
She has a bit nice and small, like that sizing. But against the 2 blinds, when you're opening, you're meant to have a lot of the bigger cards, the picture cards. So sometimes you'd see Nancy check that one behind, or some players in that position. But she's gone with a small bet, which is also fine if you're going to bet. If you're going to bet often, you should be betting small. That's good. It's a call there. Yeah.
Table 3.
So 100 fold, and the 2 is all but going to lock it up there for Shulin there. It's full, 6's full now.
Nancy might feel this is not a bad card for her either, holding the ace high.
She should check again and see if Nancy wants to represent that over pair. Like, she could have a lot of pairs over the top if raising, but as we can see, she doesn't, and we know what's going to happen if she puts any more chips in this pot. They're just going to be donated over to Shulin. And there's $200,000 donation there. She's got it. Keeping the represent. And I mean, sometimes she could have the overpairs there, and Shulin could not have a set of 6s or a full house.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the time, that bet's going to take it down.
And a lot of the time, that ace high is going to be enough on that board too. So
yep. So we'll see how Shulin proceeds here. If he is going to.
Lots of time bank just to.
If he is going to
stretch
represent a bit of strength now, you quite often see that too when players have the nuts or something really strong. They look and they chuck a time bank in. I'm not sure here. A bit of Hollywooding there, looking at his cards. He knows he's got a full house. He's not checking to see if he has a full house. He's just sort of trying to portray a little bit of weakness, I imagine, and. A little bit of gamesmanship there, yep, just makes a quiet little call here, and then we'll see a river.
I want to see an ace for Nancy's sake.
I mean, an ace would would have given Nancy the right to continue, but she may just realise that she's not calling with fresh air here, so
goes the check again, just leaving it for Nancy to potentially hang herself. She may just check back here, but
it is a chance that he just has a 9, right? So that a big bet here, if he was just calling along with a 9, that 10 might be a scare card, and if she really wanted to say, look, I've got the bigger pair.
I think you're right here, Craig, as she does.
Yep. Oh, she's launched it in there too. Absolutely thrown that in there. That's called splashing the pot. Here you go. Have them just work that out, dealer. That's just chucking a handful like you feed on the swans at the park with a loaf of bread.
And she's, in fact, just feeding Shulin is what she's doing.
She is. Yeah, and this is where Shulin will expose the truth. It looks like he comes with all in, and that will be. She's quickly folding ahead, but she's going to take a bit of time. This is called just saving the face. I wasn't bluffing you. I've got a decision here.
The hard part here is we've got a $2.5 million pot, and it's only $4.15 to call for Nancy. So.
I mean, I'm not having a go at the way Nancy's played this hand. A lot of the time, Shulin just has a 9 here, and he's actually in the blender when she bets that on the river with a handful of chips, and not this time when you got the 6s full. So, I'm not sure how long she's going to tank for here before she folds. I can't imagine she's thinking of calling. I don't think she's going to waste too many time banks.
Well, there you go. She just threw a time bank in.
Well, maybe she legitimately thinks that, I've only been watching this table for 8 hands now, so we don't know the history there. Shulin could be someone who has been going after it, and he might have shown down quite a few bluffs and stuff, so it might be a decision, but she's folding. Yeah, there it goes. So.
Nice hand, Shulin. Yes, and really well played. A lot of patience there, and probably just got maximum that could have got for the 6s.
It is good to see, and that's part of, I think, a lot of the ladies' success in this. Nancy took the aggressive line there, and a lot of the females, particularly the good ones that we see playing in this deep and feature tables, are quite aggressive. I remember watching Ling Lu the other night in the Rakarkas. She was getting around with it in the ladies yesterday in the sit and go Soda Origin.
Ling, of course, going all the way to second.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah, that's right. I actually spoke to Ling about that. It was, as we said, as it looked. They did a chop three-handed, and then they played it out for they really both wanted that ring and the Dracarchus, the trophy on their resume, and so they really played it out, and Lockie ended up getting the win.
So we're seeing all you guys on the chat. Just to remind you, we're going out on YouTube on our Facebook page, Australian Poker Tour Facebook page, and of course on Twitch. We see all the chat and all the questions. We're getting a few questions about the payouts, Craig, and the buy-in. Well, of course, the buy-in's there down the bottom in the ticker. It was a $1,500 buy-in event, a record number of entries, and a record $816,400 prize pool. First, $165,000. It's pretty
huge.
Amazing, isn't it?
That is huge, yes. And also, the other thing you get with the main event is you get much tradition that they do over at WSOP. You get a banner. You get your photo up on the banner for the main event champion that follows the Australian Poker Tour all around all their stops.
375.
Looks good in the room, doesn't it? Hanging there as Maynard pushes all in with his last 375 with sevens called by Shulin. So we go again. Craig, if we lose another one, an absolute. Let's see.
Bang, there she is. And see you later on up. 1 or 2 seconds is the only way out here. And eliminated.
I think the issue might have been there wasn't another 7 in the deck. I think they
well,
both come out, so he was gone.
Yeah, the software has that benefit too. It can actually show you the folded cards. It's got a pretty good memory and put them up there, so he actually had no outs on cards.
So Craig, the wrecking ball, Abernathy sees another player leave in the space of 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, they were sort of short stacks. True. There was a lot of short stacks still in the field. Like, there are significant pay jumps there hanging around too, so maybe a pay jump just went off.
It's 26 to 35th is $4,000, so it's still in that range, and then it will jump at 25 to 21 is 4,700. So we're still in that same little bracket there, and of course play going on 4 other tables. A couple of those are on the stage here behind. You can see just in the top right hand corner, you can see one of the other tables playing there. So we've got 3 tables, including this feature RFID table up here on the stage, and then a couple on the floor. Might actually be only one on the floor now that we're down to 30.
30 would have, I believe we'd need still 4 tables.
So 3 up here and 1 on the floor probably. And but we've only got 6 playing here, so we'll probably get another player up here shortly. And they reassign the tables. Just some of the names too, big names in Australian poker still in this. Michelle Anuno.
He was in the Origin yesterday. He was one of the standouts for Queensland.
He's got a big chip stack from what I can see. The mouth from the south, Adrian Sportelli, still going. So if Adrian gets up here, you might want to turn the audio down.
Actually, I believe Michelle just busted before we started the stream. I did see him when I was getting a coffee.
Sure he wasn't on a break?
No, I think...
He lost a lot of chips in a short amount of time, if that was the case.
Yeah, I think the chip stacks in the app are from overnight. So he did tell me he had a big stack earlier, but I'm pretty sure Michelle Nunu did bust. And he's in the Beast now.
You're right. I can see he is out.
Because there is that Beast event on as well. That's a 450 buy-in, 75k guaranteed. Get down here if you're in the area, because that's got late registration for another few hours yet, and that is going to be a giant atmosphere. They're going to smash that prize. There was 200 in that when I looked already. That's 100k. So
Yeah, so you are right, and the big chip leader overall is sitting on this table, and that's Ken. He's got a massive chip lead.
Yep.
Sportelli, I can see, is still going around, and a couple of his mates, Dipper. Some of these old school players are still in here.
Yep, love Dipper. I
Chris,
had dinner with him the other night.
Yeah,
Great guy.
I had lunch with him today before we came out and play. And
had a Pinot or a...
yes, he did. And he's offside Sam Haddad. All three of them are still in.
Great to see the guys coming down from Queensland.
Yep.
Plenty of people travelled here, and they weren't picked in the State of Origin. They just came down to support the Australian Tour.
They are massive supporters and very good mates of Tony Hashem. And they're the three musketeers, those three guys. And
they love winning too.
Don't they what? And they let everyone know about it. So Edwin Chu, who we've seen often on final tables, even up here, let alone across the whole APT tour, still going around. You'd know a few of those names as well.
Yeah, Josh Baraba, young upcoming poker pro from Sydney. He's always in there. We also saw shout out to a couple of guys that have come all the way from Mount Gambier, or Michaela. So there was a South Australian team that came up, obviously, and Michaela, I believe, from the Mount Gambier area. She's out and about in the field too somewhere, or she might, again, we don't have the live updates on the other table, but if you do have anyone specific, let us know. We might be able to find that out for you. There's plenty of events going on today, so I've seen them in the room and playing somewhere or something.
Yep. Let's see when we go to that camera behind the dealer. There's still a hell of a lot of activity going out on the floor. It's been an amazing 10 days. Fantastic venue here at the Bella Vista Hotel. Undoubtedly be back here. This is as good a poker room. We're sort of christening the poker room here. They've had poker in here. This has only just been newly renovated, this big space. And
I like how it's got that separate area too. It's got the fantastic restaurants and bars. There's a nightclub here.
Yeah, that was fun Friday night.
A couple of the guys were telling me today they were out there and they haven't danced for a while, and they were out there dancing last night, Saturday night. So hopefully, this venue is here to stay for a long time, and we get a regular here every year, or at least one. Bella have been fantastic.
Boys from King's Poker have been, you can see the signage there behind Shulin. Boys from King's have been really instrumental in putting all of this together. Mark and Rob.
Yeah, it's a great collaboration that they've had with Kings, because Kings have their Sydney Millions coming up later this year. Not it's only a couple of months away now. I think it's October. That'll be another huge series. They had a huge main last year at a 2K buy-in, and once again they did some satellites here. We might just have a check out this end. Ken's woken up with the Ace King for the second time today that we've seen in the small blind this time. Now that's just a call as well. That's a blue 25 and 3-5s. It's just a call, so he's like just to play a little bit cagey and whack in them.
Pay off for him, isn't it?
Yep, there's the ace. Nice card to see when you got Ace King. So you can see Jason does have the gut shot, backdoor flush draw. It's a blind versus blind pot, so they've both got a lot of hand here for the blinds. Ken, just leading out here.
Tiny little bit, 55.
Yeah, just shy of half pot. I mean, of course, see at least one call, because he's got, as I said, he could get a heart here. He could just bang the jack and rip the gut shot right here, or the heart will. But that's what we call a brick. So now just the gut shot. We won't be seeing Jason call a big bet here at all.
Well, it's just a check back to him. Give him a chance to decide whether he wants to have a crack or wait for a river.
Out of position, Ken's just going for the check call if that happens. I'm pretty sure Ken, with that check back from Jason, you wouldn't see Ken bet. Although with the repeat ace, I'd imagine Ken will go for some value here, but and we'll see a quick fold from Jason, but I could be wrong. if Ken does check it over, Jason's got queen high and might think he'd have to bet. But here goes Ken.
It's like 155.
Yeah, something like that. 130, 155. Yep, yeah, you're right.
They go into the muck.
Yeah, so another pot for Ken has got quite the chip stack here. 4.9, almost 5 million chips. He's gone a long way to making the final table as well, like 5 million. But anything can happen, and we'll see how.
We have seen big chip stacks fall over, Craig. It's
Yep.
it's not over until that last hand, but he is looking good.
Got a couple of new players join the table now since those bust outs that we've seen. Paul Grace, who I'm not too familiar with, and Hasib Yunan. So welcome to the table, and good luck to you. But catching Ken is that's the goal at the moment. Look at him.
Sure, this will be first time for those two guys. I haven't seen them on the stream.
Two-fold, change.
Yep, perhaps some Sydney locals that play at their local. A lot of players come over from Kings too. So Kings is over in Kogarah. They've got their main hub, and I've also seen they've got some other rooms now around Sydney's west. So they would have all been promoting the series. So I'd imagine a lot of these players that we're not familiar with have come from Kings and win, or quite often make up the prizes in the weekly games. And now they're trying to get an APT trophy, which is good to see.
Shu Lin re-raises the ace-9.
Yep, I like it.
Would you mind bringing the purple slip front? Yeah, thank you.
A lot of the button ranges that can get them lucky, and I was open there is a lot of queen tens, or pretty much not any two cards. Probably about half the deck Ken's opening this on the button, I reckon, and especially with a big chip lead like that. So an ace is ace 9's a good card to 3-bet there, because you want to sort of take that one down, and you block the aces, of course. You block Ken's ace kings and all that. So that's what we see happens. Nice takedown from Shulin. Nice bit of aggression.
Other events that were really popular here with the satellites. So we're talking about players coming in from Kings and places like that. I'm sure that we've still got quite a number of players in this field who satellited their way in to the main event.
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah, that's right. We had a number of satellites at the series. Kings ran satellites. All the lead up on that. So yeah, I mean, we answered before. It does say down the bottom it's a $1,500 buy-in, but it doesn't mean you need $1,500 to get this far in a tournament. My biggest tournament was a main event. I won it for $1,500, and I satellited in for $175. We might just stop the chatter here. We've got a big hand here developing.
Nasib just sitting down as his second hand that he's played on this feature table, and he's got the rockets.
Yep, now about 15 or 16 blinds effective here. So there's no way this doesn't get all in. I'd imagine pre-flop, but at least by the turn.
Nancy's
got a decision as well. Now Nancy's got a similar size stack to Kenny Wang, which is quite a lot more than the 15 bigs.
So she's raised 50, it here.
So wow.
Put 200 in.
It's gone raise. Nice. I like the just call from Hasib. Off a short stack, that's not a bad option. But yeah, she's got the extra answer out. She's got the extra answer out of Nancy.
The Nancy out of Nancy.
Bit of a tongue twister there.
And with his big stack, Ken looks down at the Queen Jack suited and thinks, oh, come on, Jason's got Kings. This is unbelievable.
This is a fake hand.
Oh, this is just unbelievable.
This is a fake hand. This is like just a setup. And I mean, it's happened because the occasional length we've just called from us, you know, and otherwise it might have gone raise, re-raise, Nancy probably folds, Ken folds, and then Kings comes over, but instead
Jason,
we've got 5-way hand.
And Jason will push all in here, surely. He's only got 1.1 behind. He doesn't want to be going up against 5 hands here. So
I'd imagine.
Wouldn't he? Hang on.
Well,
hang on. No, he's raised it, but he's left himself a few chips. There's not a heap of chips behind, but he's
left about 300 back, so he's gone big. He's committed himself anyway.
There you go.
760,
so
720 it was. So.
Kenny with the ace king.
Now, Nancy's going to get the ejector seat here. She's going to be able to get out without losing the rest of her stack here, because this is the sibs going in, and Fours then knows that they're no good. But then it comes back to...
Yep, he's out. Kenny with the ace king.
Yeah.
Sib obviously is calling. He's only got
fold,
he's only got 555 behind.
Yep. Sib will be putting those chips in. He's probably just going to take his time and take it slowly and just check that he see what he's got, because he can't remember, because he wants to look nice and weak. He doesn't want to telegraph that everyone he's got the nuts. But 4 ways especially, this is dangerous. Imagine he wants to try and get his heads up, and then he only has to fade a king.
You see, if he wanted to get this heads up, he'd throw the money straight in. He's taking his time.
I wouldn't mind having a bet that if those other, all 5 hands played this, that the aces wouldn't have held up.
Yeah, possibly not.
But yeah, Kenny's done well there with the ace king fold for sure.
Goes.
A lot of players would have sort of overplayed that ace king there. I mean, with the action in front, particularly in live fields like this. Kenny's been around the bush a lot in these live fields, and he just knows just not enough chance that ace king is in good shape there. Nancy gets out of the way.
So now Ken's got a decision here, because it's only 600
more
to call, and Jason's only got 335 behind. This is a huge pot. He can definitely afford it, but it's whether
well, it's 2 million in the pot, and he's got to call 600. So when he puts 600 in, the way you work the pot odds out is he's got to put in 600 to win a pot that's worth at least 2.6 million. So he's getting like 4 to 1, and your hand does play pretty well,
but he decides
nice disciplined fold, Ken.
You
can sort of trap yourself there, because
he'll be happy to see that
if he makes top pair with a queen.
Yeah, he's going to be happy to see that he got out of there. Aces against kings.
He won't be happy if it comes 8-9.
Don't tell Ben he wants an ace.
or 3 hearts.
Kenny does play with a lot of emotion on his sleeve, Ken Dumluckian too, so we'll see what happens.
And there's a king.
Wow.
There is a king, wow.
And even though the aces are in such good shape, they are the short stack, which means you just get ejected unless that spade rolls off. He does have that spade work. He needs the spade
Needs
to come
spade.
in. Does he get reprieve?
Spade to fade?
No. And Ken would have made a straight king, Jack. If I was able to get my bet on there that the aces wouldn't hold,
you would have been right.
I would have been right.
And a very quick visit for aces.
I know we're laughing, but I do feel for...
You've got to feel it. Whenever you go out with aces, you've got to feel for that player.
Yeah.
And not only did the Kings hold up, but the Kings made a hell of a lot more money than they otherwise would have, because we had a couple of raises and calls, and so there's a lot of money in that pot. Jason's picked up way more than
too much. No, that's too much, but
he would have otherwise.
Oh, you're way on the river?
That was a
big hand. Loved it. It was 5 very nice hands.
Right move, right everything.
Kings.
When he did that and I caught aces there, I thought you had.
And we lose another one. So down to 28 players all of a sudden. I think it was 36 when I first sat down.
I told you, you're a wrecking ball.
Dropping like flies. I reckon we could get to the final table pretty quickly.
You know, I was just about to say it. We just got it on the chat too. There's only 1 king left in there too. One had been folded. Obviously, the ace king got folded.
True.
So he's hit the 1 outer.
Yeah, 1 outer. Yep, well spotted. Yep. And that's all it takes, 1 out. That'll be the even sicker thing when he goes home and watches that, or watches the replay in 20 minutes or so to see what everyone else had.
Yeah, it wasn't really much more to, like you said, it was 4-1 to call that, but gee, you would have knocked both of them out completely.
Well, no, he played the hand well, so get all your chips in there with the best hand.
So Jason now with 2.3 million behind and an ace-9, the cutoff. Bets 75.
We'll see who else joins the table and what their stack's like, because we've seen some short stacks come and go, and everyone else has sort of got a fairly big stack here. Paul Gross is 1.2, which is what, about 24 bigs. So yeah, we might just see the action slow down a little bit now. No short cacks are going to be jamming in with the 10 bigs or less, but welcome to the table to our new player. His name will come up there. I don't recognise him off the top of my head, but it doesn't mean anything. Both players missed this board. Not much going on for either of them, so first to bet wins and takes that one down.
So, as you can see there, 28 players now left. We've got 4 tables of 7. And we are just waiting for the graphics to tell us who our new player is.
A nice moustache there as well.
Like yours.
Wow. Yeah, mine's just down a bit of laziness. That looks like this.
Oh, this is Mike Rubinski.
Mike Rubinski, yeah, he's got a nice moustache, got the sleeve tats, looks the part. At a guess, I would imagine Mike is another Sydney local and probably plays through the Kings feeder system. Could be wrong.
Come round to him here in the big blind. He's up against the raise from Paul Grace. And his lousy 7-5 off goes into the muck. Here's our chip counts. Big leader here is Ken. Mike comes to the table with 18 big blinds, so still pretty deep. No one on this table would be panicking at all. But when you keep getting callers, as has happened since we started this broadcast, and you in particular, Craig Abernathy has been sitting here and wrecking balling everyone. We've had quite a few callers and we've lost about 8 players out of the field since we started the broadcast half an hour ago.
Yeah, well, main events are quite fun to commentate generally because you've got a big mix of players. You obviously start with a huge field, and 628 players, you're never going to get 628 robots and professionals, are you? So the players are going to be mixed and different strategies, and you get some short stacks, anything happen. And you got Jacob the dealer. He's dealing all this stuff out, and he's got that shuffle that must just create big action hands.
Yes. He's got a reputation, doesn't he? He sits down, that things happen on the table.
Yeah. I actually played at the World Series a few years ago, and just a small event, I don't know if it was a daily or something like that, and the dealer came, sat down and introduced himself, and he said, "I'm Terry, the Terminator. I knocked out 600 people yesterday," or something like that, or whatever he keeps a track of it, he said, you know. So good luck to you. And I mean, I don't know how many Jacobs knocked out over the series, but if there was statistics on dealers, it'd be interesting to see, I reckon. which dealers do the most all-in and do the most knockouts.
Nancy, nice time to get queens.
Yep, she's working up with the ladies.
Off the back of Kenny's raise, so... Oh, no, it's not a good time to get queens.
Well
Sorry.
done, Jacob. Like, we're just talking about this.
No. This is actually outrageous. This has been a crazy half hour of dealing.
Where are the fives and obviously only fives or too many nines yet? They were taken out of the deck. We're just left with aces, kings, queens. We did see fours and sevens.
Big trouble for
pairs.
Nancy here. Huge trouble as Kenny 4 bets it to 780. Kenny gets out of the way.
Kenny's seen enough.
Nancy's
Yep.
pushes all in. Gets a very quick call, of course.
Yep.
And here they go.
Now, the short stacks have been losing. The short stack's behind this time, so I'm not sure whether the best hand's going to win and we're going to see another elimination, or we're going to see
I'm
the
pretty
suck out
sure I
again.
saw at least one queen folded, so I don't know what. She's going to need runner for a straight here.
Yeah, well, she's in bad shape. She needs to find some help. That's not it. Just the 2 outs, which we can't see up the top as outs, so maybe they are.
They
out.
are. There's no outs because.
Yeah. She did make a full house, but it's an inferior full house, and the 2's full of aces.
So again, one more hand, one more elimination.
Bad luck for Nancy there. She got it in with queens. It's pretty standard stuff. It's what you're going to do. It's not always that someone's going to wake up with aces, but...
well, they are while you're commentating, so here we go. This has been cool as city here for half an hour.
7 left now. Oh, wow. We've lost 9 players, and I don't think we've had more than 20 hands.
We've been on for half an hour. So,
yeah, I mean, I think...
Sorry, a little more. 45 minutes we've been on for. In 45 minutes, we've lost 9 players.
Yeah.
Go on, Jacob. Keep going.
There's,
this is quite outrageous.
20 hands, 9 elimination. Well, I mean, to be fair, all those 9 aren't on the table. They're updating from outer tables as well.
We've had 6 on this table.
6 on this table, yeah. 6 in 20 hands. Wow, This is... I'm not watching this in fast forward.
No, not at all. And if you got mates who like watching poker, just let them know this is on. Send a message, and
if you're watching it on YouTube later, don't watch it on fast forward, or you'll miss it.
you'll miss the whole lot. So Mike decides to raise here out of the cutoff with Jack 8. Ken with the Jack 10.
Okay, don't mind that. I imagine... Can't see Ken folding. Got that chip stack. Ken's going to sort of now see a lot more hands too. He's got that position. He's got that option with so many chips. If he wants to, he can sort of come along and go fishing wherever he likes. Jack 10's not a bad hand.
So we've got a Jack 8, Jack 9, Jack 10 here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jake can put the other Jack on the board. I didn't see it folded though. So the Jack of Hearts would be an interesting card, especially if it came with a 8, 9, or 10. Not to be. Only one club, and that's Ken. Picks up the flush draw and the gut shot. Everyone else is probably going to be a bit disinterested with this. Nothing really doing for any of them.
Ken's finding it hard to put his cards somewhere. He's got so many chips in front of him.
As you can see, Ken Damlakian's got 78% equity here, and he doesn't have a pair yet. So he's monstered that flop, even though he missed. Jack high is a big chance of winning. And if no club comes and it just goes pair, then they could chop too. So that would be interesting. I don't think we'll see any chops. I haven't seen any chops yet. Jacob doesn't do chops. Max Payne just...
So the bet's from Mike.
Yep,
Get a call here from Ken.
Continues. Probably a bit on the larger size, that bet. Generally monotone boards, we bet a little bit smaller. Because when you get called, you know, especially when you don't have the club.
And of course there's another club coming, and now Ken has the nuts here.
He has the nuts. He's got a royal flush redraw if the 10 of clubs comes off. But he's not going to need it. I think out of position here. He's just going to check again with the nuts, and we'll see if Mike wants to say, well, I've got a club here. I was betting my draw, and I'm continuing. We know he didn't, but you know, if Ken didn't have the jack of clubs here, it's a tough call. You know, if he's come along in the small blind with like 8 or 9 of clubs. No, nice little check back there from Mike, and then it's up to Ken. Firstly, there's no 10 of clubs, so there's no royal flush, but doesn't need it. Still the nuts.
Can't see Ken checking here to let him hang
No,
himself. He's going to bet big. There it is.
So quite often when Mike checks back there, he's got some showdown value, and that would mean a club of some sort. So Ken's gone large here. He's actually put him all in. And all in is actually not that much compared to the size of the pot. And fortunately for Mike, he doesn't have a decision, so he can just get away from it and focus on the next one.
Just threw out one of the cards. I think he might have shown the jack. I'm not even sure, but
That's why you don't have it.
I don't think Ken...
Ken's flashing
Yep,
something there.
he showed
There it
him.
is.
Yes, there it is. I had the one card that
I was
I
thinking,
needed.
does he have the 10 of clubs?
Yep. Nice hand, Ken. 7 million chips. I think I said he had 5 million about 5 minutes ago. He's got
Nuts.
7.
He's gone nuts with the nuts.
Yep, he's getting hit in the face with the deck. And he got away from that Queen Jack, which he would have destroyed aces and kings as well.
He would have knocked out another 2 players if he decided to call that.
Yeah, different situation. I mean, it would have been interesting. Now, Paul Grace, he's just come to the table not long ago. So he's going to get into the action here. Anyone supporting Paul at home? Cross your fingers and buckle up because Jack's probably isn't going to be the biggest pair here. It's just as we go around the table. If the last few hands have been any indication. Okay, Jack's 10-4, no. Jack 7, no. Okay. Who's got the aces and kings here? No. 10-2, okay. Jack's just starting to look better. He's only going to get through the small blind and the big blind now.
Two fold.
Jason doesn't play. King 7, okay. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy that hand. Nice raise and take it. Jacks.
Takes it down.
You don't mind that with jacks too. A lot of people, jacks should find it a bit scary. It's difficult to play jacks. They look good and sometimes they're not there. A fellow commentator, a good friend of mine, Corey Van Yarsveld, calls them the sexy boys. Jacks. Which I'm not going to say over and over because it drives his commentary mate Jordan Bromley are nuts. But that's just what he refers to them. Jacks takes it down. So Paul survives.
Why would he call them sexy boys? Look good but don't get much action?
Well, no. Well, the story, I don't want to give away too much because there's a podcast tonight where Corey goes through that.
Okay. Plug the podcast.
7:30 tonight, maybe 8 o'clock because I'm in here. I've just got to do a few things to make sure that goes out tonight. Poker Pulse podcast, check that out on Facebook, Instagram and on YouTube. Subscribe to Poker Pulse podcast. You'll find it. That's myself, Catherine Young, who's the media. Doing all that fantastic work with the media stuff for Australian Poker Tour this week. A lot of cool videos. And Troy McLean, who is from Echuca, Victorian professional. He's currently up in Brisbane and he won a trophy the other day as well. Bit of Poker Pulse podcast run good for him. He's on it and we discuss plenty with Corey. We discuss his coaching, we discuss his commentary, we discuss something that was shocking, which I'm not going to go into here, but if you want to find out about that, it was a scam alert that Corey Van Jay posted on his Facebook. We're going to be talking about that on the podcast tonight. So if you're interested in anything in Australian poker, we have an update in the Aussie Millions, check out Poker Pulse podcast. But you can also watch it after you finish watching this because you'd rather listen to me here, wouldn't you, and Harvey?
Watch this as live. We're 25 minutes behind the action. We always say that we're commentating this as you're watching it at home, and we're commentating it live and then sending out Sorry, I haven't got my mic on. I'm saying that we're 25 minutes delay here. We're not commentating this live and then sending it out on delay. We are commentating this as you're watching it at home. So, yes, watch this live along with us.
Especially if you've got one of your family or friends or partners or brothers or anyone on there that you know. There's 27 left, and if they're still in, there's a good chance they're going to make this table, and you can watch them, cheer them on, send them updates on delay. You had this or you had that. Plenty of people do that. Get behind it, let us know in the chat who you're cheering for, and if you've got any friends on there, where people are from.
Absolutely love to hear you in the chat, see you, and respond. Got any questions?
There's a lot of money to play for here. Plenty of money up top here. 165,000. One of these 27 is going to win 165,000, or even 100k for second. That's 6 figures for second. Wow. That's just how big this tournament is. Often you don't often see a 6-figure score for second unless it's something massive, and this is massive.
So not much for either of these guys on the flop. Kenny is going to have a bit of a crack at it. The 8-2. Paul holding an ace here. It's not continuing though. Bet from Kenny. There's absolutely nothing. Gives him a small pot. As you can see, a few empty tables there. We're starting to wind down after a massive 9 days up here. The Vista Hotel in the western suburbs of Sydney. It's been a terrific New South Wales Championship. Could not have imagined in my wildest dreams that we'd get 628 entries into the main event. It was a guarantee of 400k, which looked very enticing, but we've actually smashed that by more than double. It's just quite incredible. This is the biggest main event prize money in the APT Tour. It's a record, breaking the record from Melbourne last series, 585,000. Confident to say that this has overall been the biggest prize money offered at an Australian Poker Tour as a standalone tour. The tour has partnered in the past with a couple of other tours, and there's been some big buy-in events, 10k buy-in events, etc. as part of that. TLP were part of it for won a couple of wild series ago. The Asian Poker Tours, but as a standalone, this has been overall biggest payouts for players over the course of this series. We've also seen some of the biggest names in poker come and play multiple events, attracted here by the State of Origin, which was fantastic yesterday. A lot of excitement. And Angel secured the 3 points on the final table to give the adopted Aussies the win. A lot of excitement from that team. See Mike's hit the 9 here. 8 would give Kenny the straight. Bets out. Mike's going to be feeling that he's probably pretty good with the 9. Let's just see. Is Kenny at his chips? He's not very much left behind here. 440 behind, it's 185 to call. Put your tournament life on the line for a 9. He's got some more time to think as he throws in a time bank. It is going to be enough. Of course, Kenny quickly folds, so really important win there. 285k in chips for Mike, who's the short stack on this table. Stays alive, picks up some chips. You can see up the top there, Ken is just absolutely slaughtering this table. He's actually slaughtering this tournament. He is, of the 26 players left, he's the big chip leader overall and is dominating this table with 7 million chips. Here on my own for a bit while Craig goes and actually finishes preps for that podcast that he was talking about. Hopefully comes back in and joins me before we go off on the dinner break, which is about 50 minutes away. We'll have a 45-minute break for dinner. It'll be happening close enough to 8 o'clock. A little bit just before 8 o'clock. Lynn raising. Queen 10 out of the hijack, and Mike in the small blind with just 6-3. Lets that go. Come around to our chip leader in the big blind. Home game hand, 7-2.
I'd normally call you, but because of that stare, I'm going to fold a hand that's better than yours right now. See? I'm in front.
Says I'm going to fold a hand that's better than yours, and shows 7-2.
That stare was so intimidating. I folded. You got me to fold 7-2 off.
Good fold. I think you made that right fold.
I'm on the fence, but I'll probably agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can re-raise 3-bet.
Sorry?
3-bet, quick.
Could I can re-raise? Obviously, I can re-raise with anything.
A lot of home games. If you actually win a hand with a 7-2, you get a small blind from everyone, or some games a big blind from everyone. If you manage to get players out of a hand with 7-2, or actually get it all the way to the line and win with it.
High speed, timing is everything.
Things slow down a bit as soon as Craig leaves the commentary box. I believe we had 8 eliminations in less than 20 hands while he was sitting here. Mike on the button with a Queen 5. Lets that go. And back around to Ken. 7-6 out of the small. Make a call. And Jason. Queen 5.
Thank you. Heads up. Oh.
It's a 7.
What do you want us to understand from that?
A little bet. And even a little bit is enough to get rid of Jason. So once again, just to remind you, we'll be playing down to final table tonight in this main event. And the Players will come back tomorrow to finish this off. Monday poker to wrap up the New South Wales champs. Playing for 165,000 on top, 105,000 for second, 71,000 for third. 71,000 for third is about what's normally the main event first prize. 52, 40,000 and 32,000 for sixth. Huge amount of money up for grabs here. 628 entries, $1,500 buy-in event. 26 left.
Threefold.
Of course, Ken finds some cards on the button. 3-betting is King Queen suited. Kenny, who's got the ace-8. And he gives that up.
Do you know what? Oh, not here, please.
No, I have four more. Yeah, don't worry about it.
No, she's not charging us the water, but the whiskey isn't free, no. The whiskey's not free, but that's okay. Sorry?
I didn't say anything.
All in.
Oh, you're all in? Yep.
One fold. Two fold. Three fold. Four fold.
So Mike gets his all-in through with the ace-king. Now he's up to 20 big blinds. So Ken with the eights gets Jason to fold the pocket twos, but he won't get Paul to fold queens. He's only got 1.1 behind here. Paul Grace out of the small blind. decides
375.
to just raise it up to 375. Just not pushing all his chips in yet. Kenny, Queen 8 out of the big blind folds. And Ken, the 7 mil, is just looking for a chip count to see how much Paul has left. You'll see that he's got another 735 behind. And with pocket 8s, Ken decides just to call.
Heads up.
Go to the flop. It's on Jack, Jack 5. Paul with the option. It's a small bet. It's like 175, 200 in fact. See that Ken actually only has one out. One of those 8s has been folded. Makes the call. I think he's going to hit it only because Craig's not sitting here with me. If he was, you can almost bet your life the 8's coming out, but it's in fact next door. It's a 9. All in. So it's another 535.
35.
Ken thinking, what would Paul have played this way? Maybe shoving an ace king here. If so, Ken is in front. Ace queen still in front. He's got an overpair. He's going to call, and he's going to see the bad news. He's miles behind here. It's an 8 and an 8 only, and there's only one left in the deck. So Paul should double up here at the expense of the chip leader, and he does. So again, valuable chips for Paul Grace, who now has 2.3 million and takes some of those chips off Ken. The big stack, not a massive hit to him. From his 7 million.
There's too much money already in there. You've already dragged me, sucked me in. So I have to outsmart you to get it back, which is tough.
Nah, that'll be easy, man. Don't worry.
So Craig Abernathy comes in and joins me one hand too late, unfortunately for you, Wrecking Ball, because we had queens up against 8s. Kenny had the 8s. Needed him to come from behind with your help, but the queens of Paul Grace held, so he's doubled up his chip stack.
26 left, okay. I couldn't have been going that long. We only lost one.
I enjoyed
Just had to duck out and do some housekeeping for about 5 minutes. Maybe 10. And
You'll be here with me to the break, Craig. It's not too far away. Just letting everyone know that we're going to have a 45-minute dinner break. That'll happen in about maybe 40 minutes. 8 o'clock Sydney time. The players who've been on the felt here since 1 o'clock get a decent dinner break, and there's a lot of decent dinner options here, isn't there, Craig? It's a fantastic bistro attached to this great poker room at the Bella Vista.
yeah, the pizzas are great. I think they're stone-fired pizzas. Had a couple of those. Had a schnitzel. You know, I love places that do the sweet potato fries now too.
Yes,
I'm a sucker for sweet potato
Saw a
fries.
bowl of those on your work desk when I arrived.
They sort of feel like the healthier option. I don't know if they are, but I think, like, you know, I'm being healthy here. And sweet potato fries, a bit of aioli.
Anything that's green or orange is, you've just got to go with that as a healthy option.
Yep, the pasta's pretty nice. Yeah, it's just then the steaks are really good too. So
I had a steak earlier in the week. So
the key thing about these types of venues, or any venue really, is have good food, and I've definitely got that.
we saw a little earlier the table service as well for the players, which is also rare. We see the waitresses come around and take drink orders, and you can actually even get your food to your table if there's no break coming up. So
yeah, the QR code, especially for drinks and stuff and food, is really handy. A lot of places are doing that now, and this place is no different. Yeah, great innovation, and the venue has to be on board with all that, and they're really open to a lot of that stuff. So sort of really well done from Bella there.
I've been privy to a couple of conversations, and I can tell you the venue's wrapped. The venue is just absolutely wrapped with this. They've turned over a hell of a lot of dough off hospitality.
Yeah,
and have given the service in return.
Oh yeah, you got to remember too, it's not just the players. There's quite a lot of staff and a massive team that puts this together too, and they're supporting the venue as well. Matty Marshall, he doesn't mind having a few Carlton Dries overnight. And,
but definitely post his work day. Yes. We all don't mind. We all don't mind a wine down here. I tell you, talk about the staff and the dealers, because there's obviously so many of them here. They get a great little area upstairs too, a chill area when they're not working. I went into the kitchen. I reckon there's 15 loaves of sliced bread up there and 2 toasty makers. They make their own toasties up there, so that gets them through, and a fridge full of soft drinks and energy drinks and lots of lollies and chips, all provided, because they've got long days here, and we always shout out our staff. Our staff down here doing the production, and you mentioned Matty. He's here so often, through the day and setting up. And
get back to this one just quickly. Look at this here.
Well, see, this is what happens. You come in and someone gets aces. Craig, can you just stay here?
American Airlines.
Problem is, Ken's hand is pretty lousy here, but he's got a lot of chips, and he might speculate.
Ken raised from the small blind, and Jason's just bumped it up just a little bit, just a teaser. He's given Ken a great price to call, and that's the idea. So Ken does make the call. So will the aces hold? Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting here. I mean, Ken doesn't have the diamond, but he's up and down. So
he's not going anywhere here, Ken.
No, we can see he's only got the 6 outs, but he doesn't know that, and he's liking his hand at the moment, because a lot of raisers aren't going to be aces, right? There's plenty of other hands that Jason will raise there that don't, have him in that bad a shape. Ace King, obviously, you're flipping now. Any Broadway cards. Interesting check. I think he's checked there because he's got the ace of diamonds, so there is quite a few cards that he's not too worried about the ace rolling off. The king does now. Now that smashes pre-flop raise at Jason's range too, so I don't think we'll see a check. I don't think we'll see anything other than check from Ken, and he does just check it over. See how Jason proceeds. I'd imagine he wants to try and just build this pot up now with the best hand, so he can, at the moment, he doesn't want to just be jam 1.5 million on the river. So by putting a few chips in here and getting that pot up to around $1 million, then you'll have less than pot. He's still doing just small. I mean, I can imagine that's just due to the fact that he's not sure Ken would have much here, and he just wants to get some value. I probably would like to see a little bit bigger bet.
So is he going to hit it here, Craig? You're the man. Is Jason going to be in strife here?
Oh, there's a 9 on the river for sure. No? Or 7?
Well, there's a 7, and this is...
okay.
Ken hits here, but...
I mean, it's probably going to go check call if it's a small bet. Because that's a 4-liner, it could even go check now. I'd imagine Ken is going to check, and Jason he would hate to value own himself here by betting and getting jammed on. It's quite possible Ken could have a lot of 9s and 4s. So he may elect to check, I'm not sure. The 4-liner, certainly. I mean, if the 9 rolled off, then it would have been a bit more disguised, I guess, but...
he's going to bet the 7.
He's going to go for value, okay, good.
Yeah, the
I like
7
it.
would have been a... Yeah, so now he actually puts Ken to a decision here. It's only 360 more, and Ken quickly throws the chips out and is going to get the bad news.
Yeah, and that was pretty well played by Jason. He got the max out there. Pretty well played by the river too. So, giving Ken a reason to call.
So talk about this often, Craig. We look at the production here, and we mentioned our team led by Matty. Matty's the only bloke working out there. He's actually doing the chip counts. Everything else is automated, so we don't have someone switching cameras. The software automatically takes the cameras around the table because the software knows whose turn it is to act next.
Yep.
The only thing that manually is happening here is our dealer. You'll see he's got a microphone and is telling Matty the bets, and Matty in our production is putting the bets in on an iPad, and they appear on the software. This is quite amazing software, and you've mentioned the 4-colour deck, which is something that's reasonably new for us, but we found that a lot of people were watching this on their phones, and it was really hard to see the suits on a little screen. So all of a sudden, when your queens are still red, but your clubs are green and your diamonds are blue, it's a little easier to pick up the suits as well as the actual cards.
Yeah, and quite a lot of the games that you play online too, whether it's an app or whatever, a lot of those interfaces have the 4-colour decks, and you can choose that option as well. I particularly like that as well. Quite often when you're playing on your phone or an iPad or computer or what, you're sort of half distracted, and you can easily see if you've got a flush or whatever working for you when the 4 colours are there, so I really like it. But yeah, the software's amazing. Got Matty out there updating the bet sizes from the dealer. Jacob on the microphone there, just letting him know what the sizes are. For the viewers at home, the chips, the pink chip right at the front of Kenny Wang's stack there, you can see the pink one, that's 100k, and he's got a stack, lots of stacks of the royal blue 25k chips. He's got 2 stacks of orange 5ks there, and the one next to it, I think that's just another 5k as well. So 3 coloured chips in play, 100ks, 25ks, 5ks. Quite a lot of chips on this table, some big stacks. Ken Dunlucky, 5.4 million. He was up to 7 million, and then he lost that annoying one where he rivered to 7. But yeah, the action, the bust outs have slowed down a little bit. Like, they're starting to get to the serious money.
Yeah, the other thing here,
They are
Craig,
right on a pay jump now too.
Yeah, the other thing here is we've got, I think, 11 or 12 of the top chip stacks on this table.
Right.
So there's a lot of small stacks on the outer tables.
Yep.
So we may actually lose some players quickly from the outer tables if things go as they should. But our shortest stack here is still on 1 million, so there's some stacks outside on 200 and 300,000 chips. So we could get an acceleration, or obviously you can get some double ups, and all of a sudden you're evening up that chip count. The other thing about the production that I want to tell people, especially in this era of so much going on as far as maybe shifty stuff, if you like, no one gets to see these cards in real time, not Matty and not anyone else in the production, because what the software does in real time is it doesn't reveal the whole cards.
Right.
We only have the whole cards revealed on this delay, so no one knows what anyone's holding. And its production area is actually even separate from our commentary, so there's a lot of protocols here to make sure that everything's above board. worked in TV production for a long time, Craig, and I just find this poker software poker broadcast software is actually incredible. How much of it's automated.
Yeah, well, you've worked in like the sport, AFL, particularly Australian football.
Yeah, I do a lot of tennis still, and
Tennis.
I've done everything, mate. I've done baseball. I've done the
I mean,
the
I
Big
wouldn't
Bash
imagine
League.
how many of those sports can you automate. So poker, you obviously can with the action, but
You just can't. You just, and this is why when you're, covering AFL, they still have 15 cameramen on cameras out there. Nothing's automated.
They probably have 20 people in a caravan out the back that's
That's right.
sort of pointing, directing things.
Yep,
And,
very much so. I find the tennis a bit easier. I do a fair bit of the tennis, and obviously it's on a smaller stadium. A lot of the cameras are static, so you camera behind the players. The one that normally go to is a static camera, but you still need your guys down courtside, and your reverse camera needs to move around, and it's all still manned. It will get there though. I think we'll get these sort of remote cameras, and there's definitely cameras for the soccer in football, I should call it, in Europe, that are automated and follow the play. They sort of know where the ball is and follow the ball around. So
I mean, it makes it easy because poker players aren't running around.
Well, that's absolutely.
And there's there are chips flying around, but they're not actually flying around.
No, but I just think that the fact that the software knows whose the
Yeah.
action's on,
it's great.
quite incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone out there would think that we've got someone here pushing a button and moving the cameras around each time it's a player's turn to act, but it's not happening. That's the software realising that it's Shulin's action here. Camera doesn't move because it knows that it's Paul. Paul's on the camera, moves around. It's a big blind's turn now. That camera's moving automatically to Kenny. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, the technology is fantastic, and the software, it's not free. It is quite a significant investment.
Big investment from Tony Hashem and the people at the Australian Poker Tour for sure.
Now we see a multi-way hand here. 3 players going to the flop. It was opened by Ken, called by Shulin, and Kenny Wang's defended. As we can see, two of the players have hit that top pair with the king. Can't see Ken doing much other than getting out of this one. Kenny's obviously checked it out. It's the pretty standard action out of the big blind. Agent Shulin's going to just bet, probably south of half pot, Maybe smallish, maybe on the third side, maybe about 150. Might go a little bit bigger due to a flush draw. What's he going? 130. Okay, yep. Obviously, I believe Ken quickly folded, and did he? No, he hasn't. Oh, sorry, we've got around to Ken calling the big blind first. Yes, I had the order wrong there, but can't see Ken doing much other than
Wouldn't
folding
have thought
here.
so.
No, I mean, if you're calling these 2 cards here, Ken, you're not much folding. There's not much for you to fold.
Squeeze play from the big blind.
I mean, there's a chance these cards are wrong, but I doubt it. I haven't been wrong so far. I don't know why you'd waste a time bank either. Unless you're thinking about doing something.
I'm saying maybe a squeeze play.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the chips, so he's not going to be at risk if he does of busting, but I don't know, it'll be a tough spot. I mean, it could work. If he went the lot, how's 2 million sound, Kenny? I'm sure. I don't think they'd be too crazy about it. I can't see it happening. Absolutely not. There's a flop. And he just wanted to use a time bank, I think, because Ken's a pretty quick player. I don't think he uses many time banks. And
Kenny didn't waste any time, just called it.
Yeah, so now we go to a turn. Both players still have that king. Shulin's got the better kicker. No other outs. There's no straight or flush draws, so one of those 9s you can see folded. The softer also knows that. 2 outs for Kenny. Only a small plot, so not too much damage here, but if Kenny leads, which he looks like he is, building the pot. I could see all their chips get in here. That's a healthy bet, 225. And small compared to the pot, but it does build that pot right up now. If Shulin calls an imaginary world, we're going to be having 1.1 or 1.2 million in the pot. Kenny knows that that 5 really hits his range from the big blind, so that's why we see a lead here and change it. And when he gets that call, he's actually going to raise here.
So this has been built up nicely, hasn't it?
I think that would have surprised Ken a bit, the raise, because what are you saying you got if you're raising on this board? Not just a king, maybe 2 pair or whatever, in which Kenny'd be in bad shape. Does call.
So all of a sudden,
Yeah, huge pot now.
really juicy.
Kenny's only got 1.3, so less than pot. I mean, if a 9...
Nine or a queen.
Hits the river, if a 9 hits the river, we know what's going to happen. But as soon as a jack, so I'd imagine, yeah, quick check from Kenny, and then probably a quick check back from Shu as well, because
it's
one pair's not going to, be a little bit risky there to do anything with. So he'll be happy to take that big pot down.
Pot, yes.
Yeah, huge pot, yeah. And that sends Ken back down to around 20 bigs, just over. Now, I recognise the new player from the table. They haven't put his name up yet, but I believe that is Luka Mamarcus. And I didn't know him until yesterday. He was in the Tasmanian.
He was.
State of Origin team. I'm sure that's him.
I thought it was Mumicus, but he could be Mamarcus.
Could be Mamarcus, could be Mamarcus. Yeah, I'm terrible. I'll let you, it's up to you, actually. I'm just going to call him Luka.
Luka has joined us. And you probably notice up there, Craig, we've lost another 2 players. It's 24 now.
Yep, they've all made a pay jump. 4,700 is the new payout. The next 4 players will get that, and up at 20th it jumps up to 6,000. So there he is, Luka. Came up from Tasmania with his father, was in the team.
Right.
George.
George is his dad.
Yeah, you've been talking about it. We might just, before we get to there, we'll just
hello, Shu.
A couple of Cowboys.
Ken will have what? Aces? Queens?
Yeah. Well, Paul Grace wouldn't want to wake up with jacks again. No, he doesn't.
135, 135.
Kenny.
There it is. No surprise there. Jacob's at it again. Dueling out the coolers. And for that stack size, Kenny's got 22 bigs, I believe. That's maybe just under 21 or something, or 21.5. It's likely all going to end up in this pot. If it's not all in now, it's going to be on the turn. But no, he does. Moves all in. That'll give Mike a pretty trivial, like just a pretty reasonably quick fold here, I'd imagine. When it goes raise, all in jam. Queen 9's not beating too much, so that'll fold. I don't think Luka was dealt in that hand, so we go straight back to Shulin, who's not folding the kings, and here we go again.
Thank you, Craig. As you walk in, the wrecking ball.
Yep.
Very thin for Kenny.
A 2 or a 3 would even the gut shot out as well. Nope.
It's just an ace. There's no ace there for Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny departs. Another victim Craig Abernathy coming into the box.
Well,
Craig, we lost one outside too. We're down to 22. We're ripping through this field. It's quite incredible. And
yeah.
Shu Lin has now rocketed to chip leader.
Yep.
With that elimination.
Yep. Almost 100 bigs.
He and Kenny dominating this table. And we have Wang has joined us here also.
Now Luca's a short stack here, so he's got sub 10 bigs, so I think we'll see some action from him, particularly just picking up the big blind straight away. Super short. Might be looking out for that $1,300 pay jump. As Ken opens the H3, is he? Kenny's going to open up his range a little bit, and big hand again. Two ladies with Jason. Looks like a pretty good hand, but we haven't seen everyone else's yet. Jacob's dealing. Someone will wake up with a couple of kings. Ace-7 suited. Gets out of the way. Fair enough. King Jack. Facing a single raise hit call. I don't know how. I don't think he would get too crazy here. I mean, I wouldn't be calling out a position there with the 3-bet. You'd be calling just a single raise, but Luca can't do anything with that.
So the background of Ken, who got very active. He was up at 7 million chips. Lost a couple of decent sized hands. He's now got 5.2 behind. Is he going to call a raise here with the suited ace? He is. So we go to the flop. It's the Ace-3 against the Queens.
Here's that flop, and
there's the ace.
He'll be happy to see that ace, although with his particular hand, you know, he's concerned about his kicker, obviously. So he's been raised. He's under the gun. He's been raised from the under gun. So that means that Jason is going to have a strong hand. So while he's going to like the ace, proceed cautiously here due to his kicker at this stage.
Oh, Jason just putting out a little feeler bet, 200k.
Yep, he's got to continue there with his raise. He's got to represent a lot of those aces and Broadway hands that he'd have there in the +1.
Or conversely, just seeing perhaps if Ken does have an ace, that would be the other reason. So Ken comes along.
Yeah, a lot of the time Ken's just going to have, you know, could have Jack 9, Queen 9, which would just fold. This time he hasn't, and Ken's developed a flush draw now as well.
So he's going nowhere. And Jason, he's now the one who's got to proceed cautiously.
Yeah. Once he gets called on that flop by an under-the-gun player, he's going to assume that a lot of Ken's range does contain an ace, and without any clubs and any other draws, he can't hit anything other than a queen to improve. So
it looks like a decent bet, not a massive bet, but a decent bet. 475, is it? 480.
Yep. So being a 3-bet pot, there was really 1.2 million in it, and 380's chunky bet, but in relation to the pot,
notice that Jason's first action was to put his hands on his cards there.
I'd say that size is.
Now it's a time bank.
To fold. When you lead out of position, you're leading into a play like that, like Ken is. You are representing a pretty strong hand, which he does have now with that flush draw. You said he's got 94% of the equity in this pot locked up.
He's absolutely in the blender here, Jason.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated too. When you got queens, there's one particular card you don't want to see is the ace, and makes a side fold, I'd say there. Yeah, fair enough. And Ken Dermalakian rakes in the chips again. It's good to see Ken back in the chair, actually, because I watched Ken play an event up at the Gold Coast Star in the WPT, I believe it was, and he had to stand the whole tournament because he had a back issue.
Right.
And it was quite funny to see, actually. He had to get like approval from the, like, obviously, and Ken's quite a tall man as well. So if you're sitting down and there's a person on the other side and you've got a guy standing next to you the whole time, you're sort of a bit worried about looking over your shoulder and seeing your cards.
Can be intimidating, can't it?
So, but it was genuine. He had a back issue and he stood up through the whole tournament and he ended up making the final table, which was streamed. So, could you imagine if we got one guy standing here?
No, we'd have to readjust all the cameras to start with.
Especially the guy, a towering guy like Ken. So yeah, no, his back's obviously doing better.
Yeah, that's good news. Craig, these guys are limping to the dinner break. I cannot believe how many players have been eliminated in this hour and 45 minutes since we've been streaming. It's been quite crazy. We started with 38 and we're down to 22.
We could see some more here. Luca has found a hand here to put his last 5 bigs, but he has looking around. Now that's because they are near a pay jump. But I don't think it's going to matter. If the number is 22 and that's accurate, then they're still one away from a pay jump. 20th gets the thing, so. But maybe they are one off up there. So if it was 21 and someone else just busted, then you might take a bit of time and try and sneak into 20th and get that extra 1300 bucks.
I do think that's accurate for.
But he's taking nevertheless. He's never folding this from the small blind. It's been folded around to him. And he's only got to get through the big blind. And the big blind could have any 2 cards. I think a better option here, rather than use all your time banks, I sense Luca is on a newer sort of player. Like, he's been playing around, but I think with the time bank situation, I think he's just new to the time banks, because what I would do here, if I was Luca, to save my time banks, is not go all in and just put it all in, except 1 chip, and then if I need to, then use the time banks, because there is a chance that the big blind here has absolute nothing, just 2 napkins, and will just fold, right? So if he just goes 300 and leaves the 35k back, the big blind could just fold, and then you've saved all your time banks. Instead, he's using all his time banks now when he doesn't need to. So that's a bit of a tip.
Do you think this is around the pay jump?
I think that's why he's doing it. He wouldn't be doing it any other way.
So the pay jump, just again to let you know,
there's no decision.
At 22, you're getting 4,700. At 20.
Yeah, it's just updated there now, as you can see.
Right. So maybe that has been part of this. That he's realised that.
But
there's a pay jump involved.
What the better here move from Luca is to put all your chips in bar 1. And then you only need to use the time banks if the big blind plays back at you, because the big blind looks down at 2-3 offsuit. He's just folding, right? Even though it's fold bigs, it's still going to fold, and then you don't have to waste those time banks. You can use them another time.
That's not really what the time banks are for either.
It is. There's a bit of a discussion going around the world with that sort of thing as well. But look, you're talking about money, you're talking about EV, and...
No, I'm not saying he's doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying that it's not really what the time banks are for. The time banks are for you to decide whether you're playing or not to hang on and try and get a pay jump.
Yeah, that's right. And it's good that you mentioned that, because any new sort of viewers might be wondering why is he tanking here with ace queen? He's got 5
ace
bigs.
Queen in the small blind. Like, he's only got the big blind behind him.
Exactly.
He's doing another one as well.
Yeah.
That's his last one. So
now he's forced to do it. Otherwise, that hand will be folded.
And he throws it all in, I'm assuming.
So what happens there is he puts the time back out. It counts down to 30. Jacob's been resetting that clock, and then every time it gets to 0, he has to lose another time bank. So now there's actually no point leaving chips back, because he doesn't have any time banks to use. But if
you're going all in, I'm calling.
Big blind just snap folds. I think then he'll realise that.
So there it is. Just played out exactly how you said it was going to. And Ken has a king, so he's going to call.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is it, 350 or something?
I mean, Ken would have pulled a lot of hands there, but if it was 2-3, he's not. So it'll probably make no difference in this exact situation. Anyway, we go to it. Now, what's going to happen here? Ace Queen still holds the lead, does have that diamond, so if the king or two of diamonds rolls off, he's got some outs.
There's a 2.
Not the 2 of spades, though. So now he needs the Ace Queen or the 8, the counterfeit. And, oh, he does, he finds it. There we go. Well done, Luca.
I'm not unhappy
Back
for
in
you.
the game.
I'm happy you just didn't waste all your...
But got the double up, but lost all his time chips in the process. Now that could help him get to the next pay jump. So
Nice hand, buddy.
It's going to help a lot, I would imagine, to get to the next pay jump.
yeah,
So he does hang on, and he looks like he'll hang on until the dinner break, which is, it sort of got to a point where it looked like they all were just hanging on for that more than anything else. We're probably 2 hands away from our 45-minute dinner break, Craig. Nathaniel, your foe, comes in on the chat.
Yeah, Nathaniel's got his banner up on the
Yes, he does, instead of yours.
the Bella Hotel. Yeah, it could have been my head.
Could have been your head. One of the great heads-up battles, yourself and Nathaniel.
Yeah, we did have that, and I thought the best thing about that heads up was the whole final table was the commentary.
Yes.
Jinxie is some of the best commentary I've ever heard in poker.
Yes, I was sitting next to Jinxie and just letting him go for his life.
I mean,
Nathaniel
chairs.
coming in and saying, I hope he doesn't have a tough decision soon. He used up all his time banks there. So his time banks might, at the very least, get him through to this dinner break, and he's
To be
doubled up.
fair, a lot of players do play quite quickly these days anyway. You know, to use a time bank, I'd need to have a really, really tough decision. But yeah, it's not an option for him now. He's on the 30-second count. And Luca's father actually chopped. I don't know if I can say this.
I don't know, don't say it if you can't say it.
George Mamarcus, his father,
Yes.
chopped the poo with Anel Gullion
Did he?
in the Player of the Origin. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how that
chopped up the poo.
yeah, I don't know how that finished up. They get the trophy 6 months each, or
So,
definitely shared it.
and George was part of the Tasmanian team last time they won it as well. So he's come up. Ben Richardson described him as one of the great gamblers from legend. What did he say? A gambling legend from Hobart. And he's here. He won at least one. I think he won one and got 2 seconds or something. 2 wins in a second. Took out the Player of Origin. Tied it with Andrew. Anel had the chance to beat it, actually. He was heads up with Didier for the
He
win.
was, and he couldn't get it done, did he?
But yeah, so Luca's, got poker in the blood.
All right, so another spicy hand here. They've both hit the 9.
Yep, so you can see Jason's got the inferior kicker, but he does have the gut shot straight. No diamonds for anyone, so it might slow the action down here a bit of cautious play. They might both just be happening to check this one down. Although, no? Okay. That's real value. Good. I like it. It's a small bet. Imagine it will go call.
Munting Wang, another player that we've seen on some of the streams in the past here at the Australian Poker Tour.
Yep, I was going to say I recognise him. And the Queen High does play from said player. And now we see it slow down on the river. So check, Queen 9 will take that one down. Just a little pot goes the way of Mr. Wang. 21 players remaining. We've lost 15 players in the last hour and 50 minutes.
This could be it. Last hand before the dinner break. Is this one or the next one? Just looking at our timings, Craig.
Yep.
Into the bistro. So the rest of the field have a little break. Be back here to see this one all the way down to final table. One tick folds the King 7. Mike now sees an ace or 4. Mike, one of the 2 short stacks here on the table. Decides to fold that. Look at who doesn't have any time banks, won't be using any of those for a Queen 2, I wouldn't have thought.
No, but I think he'll be using his 30 seconds here to fold. I don't think he's made that time bank. He hasn't made the pay jump yet, so he's incentivized to tank for at least that full clock.
So again, that pay jump just that we've been talking about, that he was tanking last hand, is from 4,700 to 6,000. Ken on the button, gets rid of the 9-3.
Yeah, I mean, Ken's got a lot of chips and he's got every right to be, putting the pressure on us with that stack of 9-3 is just a bit not a hand you really want to do it. I mean, I wouldn't. Some players will just raise any 2. Yeah, I've spoken to a few players about this, and they call that a pig open. If you open with the 9-3-0 from the button, and you just got the chip lead, and it's like. But Ken's got some more respect for the game. It's just 9-3-0. Well, too much experience. Would have got through. Queen 8 would have folded. 7-6 would have folded.
In fact, Shulin raises out of the big here.
Yep. Interesting little raise there. Picked up a little bit of weakness, not just call from Jason. And he's right. And 7-hole will take it down. That's a nice one from Shulin to get through there. So as I said, I don't know how many hands we're going to have before the break.
I'm pretty sure this is the last one.
Looks like the rest of the.
Yeah, the way they're looking around at the way they're looking around at the clock, I'd say that this is the last one. So again, a reminder: 45 minutes. We'll be back here at the Bella Vista.
It's been a fun little session anyway with you, Harvey.
Yeah, you are the new wrecking ball. Can't believe how many players we can lose in such a short amount of time, especially on this RFID table too. It wasn't like we were losing them all outside.
Yeah.
Good work.
Jacob's been dishing out some big hands for everyone. At one point in time, I didn't think we were playing with half the deck. Some of the hands we were seeing. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break too. Once this session wraps up, we'll be going through to at least the final table and potentially longer if the final table finishes tonight.
If it keeps going like this, we'll start to get our way into the final table, but it won't.
Final table is scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes.
So.
We know what happens here. It's clearly the break now as we see Mike getting up. Come round to Ken, the cut-off. Is he going to want to play a hand before we go to dinner? Of course he does.
Yeah.
So, gets in a raise.
Try and take one last pot down before the break, and I think they're easy chips before the break too. A lot of people might fold a lot of hands that they normally would call, and just because they want to go to the break.
Paul's folding this though.
Well, I've seen these folds on about to go to the break. I don't think so either. I think you're right.
He's got to realise that Ken's potentially playing his big stack as opposed to his cards, but let's see.
Here comes the raise, and that will be the end of the hand. 400,000, I think that is. 4 pink chips. I don't think Ken will waste too much time here.
Alright, poker players in the basement, please get your calls at the end of your current hands. All dealing with the future calls at the end of your current hands.
Ken down. 3, 2.
Out it goes.
All
right, thank you, Craig.
All right then. Well,
45. We got 45. You might be back with me. Get that podcast up and going, and we'll be back in 45. Look forward to seeing you
That's
then.
what they might want to do on the break. Watch the podcast during the break.
Let's do that.
Poker Pulse podcast. See
I'm
you
not going
later.
to bother you. Yeah. How far away is it? Honestly, it's